Please come in, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Sit down, Mridul.
Thank you, sir.
Mridul or Keshav?
Sir, Keshav.
Keshav. Yeah, I got very confused.
एक और आ गया.
Ek aur aa gaya.
Yes, sir.
Right, Keshav. So, good morning to you.
Good morning, ma'am.
And tell us about yourself. Where you studied, what you are doing.
Ma'am, I belong to Fatehabad district in Haryana.
Okay.
I am 23 years old.
Right.
I have done my graduation from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and I have done BA Honours Economics.
Okay. So far.
Yes, ma'am.
Are
And
you
I'm
doing your
currently,
post-graduation.
yes, I'm currently pursuing MA Economics.
MA.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so same subject.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So now, have you ever heard about Aristotle? Arastu in Hindi and Aristotle in Greek or English.
Ma'am, I know that he was a Greek philosopher.
Philosopher.
Yes, ma'am. But
So you know who he was.
yes,
And
ma'am.
then there was another gentleman called Plato, Plato.
Yes.
Have you heard of him or you just know who he is?
Yes, ma'am. I know about him, but
You
I'm
don't know
not.
the depth of.
No, ma'am.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me now, I was seeing the news, the Jodhpur, they had riots. Jodhpur, yesterday, day before, whole TV is full of them. Now, why did it happen?
Ma'am, sorry, I could not follow the
You
news.
didn't read the
No,
newspaper.
ma'am.
Oh, it was quite, it was bad.
Sorry.
Anyway. So tell me about IPL, cricket,
Yes, ma'am.
IPL. Who won yesterday?
Ma'am,
You
I'm
didn't
not
read the
cricket
news- But you
enthusiast.
didn't see the TV. You didn't
Yes.
get time.
No, ma'am.
Doesn't it? So tell me about nutritional anemia in women.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You know about that? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It's a very serious problem that our country is facing right now. Many reports have also stated that anemia, it is around 2 women in every 4 women are facing this
Yes.
issue. And ma'am, I see this problem in terms of various factors are responsible for it. One of the major factor that I think is due to the marriage before age,
Early marriage.
early marriage
Right.
of girls, that has a impact on their
Future.
nutrition levels.
Okay.
And secondly, ma'am, it is also due to poverty amongst women, and mostly women are working in informal sector, and that too are not having very good social security, and that is also responsible for lack of nutritional availability and intake by the woman. And
Are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian?
I am a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Yes.
So suppose I have to lay a vegetarian diet. What will I ensure that the lady gets?
Ma'am, primarily protein intake has to be the
Right.
foremost priority, and for that green vegetables should be the first thing. Second should be the dairy products like curd
Okay.
and
Like paneer and
yeah,
other things.
like that
Yeah.
has to be there. And along with it, we can have salads along.
Salad,
Yes,
okay.
for better digestion and assimilation of the nutritional intake.
And dal?
Yes, ma'am.
Dal you
Definitely
should have
pulses.
because dal is the main thing in dal roti,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And then of course the bread, your roti.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right, sir. Puchiye.
Thank you.
Can you tell me 2 things in Haryana social system which you are proud of, and also 2 things which you are not comfortable with and would like to change or improve upon them given the opportunity?
Okay, sir. Sir, there is a sense of social harmony in the villages that I have experienced in Haryana,
Yeah,
and
correct.
that is translated into various things like promotion of sports at the level of panchayats, and that is something unique in Haryana which is not found in other states.
Very good.
So second is about the importance of physical fitness, that is very generally considered very good in Haryana, and it is a part of our routine in Haryana. And 2 things are that is something which should be changed. It's some patriarchal attitude in villages and amongst the people that is should be changed through education awareness programs. And second is about the issues with nutrition in villages. That is also an important thing that should.
Good. Now, recently 2 sites in Haryana have been recognized by an international environment body. Are you aware? These were for the first time that such recognition has come to Haryana.
Sorry, sir, I might have missed it.
I have
reading, yes.
heard of Ramsar sites.
Yes, sir. Sir, there are two sites in Haryana as far as Ramsar sites are concerned. One is Sultanpur National Park, which is in Gurgaon, and second is Kalesar National Park, I think. Bhindawas Wildlife Site. Thank you,
good,
sir.
no problem. Now, what is circular economics?
Circular economics, sir, is a concept where we realize the economic value at every stage of the usage of the product, and it is recycled again and again, reused, so that limited wastage occurs. For example, sir, in case of like plastics, in plastic bottles, first it is used for drinking purposes, and then it can be used for gardening purpose, and then we realize the economic value at every stages, and that is how circular economics work.
But what is the present status? I mean, is it really, it has been grounded, the circular economics, and it is giving dividends?
Sir, it is giving dividend, but it is not adopted to that level of that scale in our country, but it is a promising area, sir.
Good, very good. Now, Government of India is going for privatization. We have Air India, then last week Pawan Hans, and also we are going for BPCL.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the intent of Government of India for this privatization, and how we are going to benefit from this?
Sir, the basic intent is to invite the private sector to realize the actual potential of the assets of the government, to increase the efficiency and in usage of those assets. Sir, the benefits, I believe it will increase the fiscal space of the government that can be utilized in various social developmental programs on health, education. So second, it increases the market capitalization that we have seen in many public sector enterprises which have been privatized or where the stake has been diluted. So in that way, market capitalization, investors also benefit. So thirdly, it is important because the philosophy is to increase the governance rather than increasing the regulations. Yes.
Now, my last question, Keshav.
Yes, sir.
Now, this net zero carbon
Yes,
is a key word in climate action.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you are district collector of Faizabad district or Hisar district. What actions would you take? 2-3 actions, quick actions, I would say,
Okay, sir.
to make sure that the carbon footprint is minimized. It's not net zero, but at least you somewhere you reach that level.
Sir, my primary responsibility to first identify the sources where carbon emissions are happening in my district, and the first is the industries which are not compliant with the environmental regulations. My first concern would be to first step would be to make them compliant with the regulations. Sir, second would be to increase the afforestation in my district. Fatehabad is one of the district which has the least amount of forest cover, so that will definitely improve.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Recently, there is some shortage of electrical energy,
Yes, sir.
and it is attributed to coal.
Yes.
So, first point I want to know how much electrical energy is coming through the coal route.
Sir, it is around 60% of the total installed capacity, which is coming from the coal.
I see. Rest is coming from?
Sir, renewable sources. Sir, in that we have solar energy among the renewables, that is the highest. The second is from the hydro sector, and third is from the wind energy, and fourth is from small hydropower projects.
Nuclear energy, from there we make electrical energy. Where it will fall?
Yes, sir. It is.
Thermal or renewable?
Sorry, sir, I could not understand.
Will it be that nuclear sources?
Yes, sir.
We are making some electrical energy or not?
Sir, we are making electrical energy from nuclear sources also, but it is not that significant right now.
Will it fall under which category? Renewable or non-renewable?
Sir, it will fall under renewable, sir.
Okay. Then where the problem lies in case of coal? Is it finance problem or storage problem or production, transport? What exactly is the issue?
Sir, there are both demand and supply side issues as far as coal issue we are facing right now. Sir, the first is that the economy is improving, recovering fast. That has increased our demand for the power, and the production has not been to that rate as far as our consumption is concerned.
Why? They did not anticipate, or what is the problem?
Sir,
If production is a
Yes, sir.
culprit, that means they did not anticipate. Inside the earth there must be coal. Still for at least till 2030, coals are there.
Sir, to my limited understanding, sir, what I have read, the Coal India Limited has projected this kind of energy demand, but and they have ramped up the production also, which is higher than the previous years. But given the other factors also, that has increased our consumption demand. Given the increase in heat waves right now, that has increased the domestic household consumption also. And sir, third is about sorry, sir, I have to read more
Okay.
about it. Sir.
I read in, I also read the same. One newspaper I read that these companies, government company has been told not to mine the coal because the government of India is going to sell them. So they have prohibited them from mining. So those mines have been kept aside for future sale. So that's why the coal production has come down.
Okay, thank you.
Is it true or is it all false? No idea.
Sir, I have no idea about it. I have to read more about it. But to my understanding, sir, this should not be a major reason because there are many plants which are currently using their capacity to the fuller extent, and there has been an increase in the capacity utilization of various thermal plants. Many reports are also suggesting it. So we have to look at a holistic picture where other renewable sources should take the front, use the domestic consumption.
Is somewhere the cost of coal also is coming into picture? Price of coal?
Yes, sir. One factor, sir, that I can think of that we used to import coal from various countries, and due to Russia-Ukraine conflict, the major supplier of coal like Russia and Australia, they are utilizing their own domestic consumption of coal, and that has increased the prices of imported coal, and that has also increased the power tariff rates in coal sector.
Imported coal has become 4 times costlier.
Okay, sir.
And it is available only against payment.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can't give a shop that, okay, I will give you after 10 years. Whereas the state governments are not willing to invest money for purchasing imported coal.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
There's lots of problems with the police. Okay. One problem which has been projected is that police people are very much overworked. That means workload is very heavy. A policeman goes early morning, returns late night, again early morning goes out. So this type of work overload is there. Then each sub-inspector who investigates the case, instead of having 2 to 3 cases in hand, maybe having about 12 to 20 cases in hand. So both ways, the working hour as well as the case work, both ways there is a overload.
Yes, sir.
How do we address this problem?
Sir, definitely, sir, this is a major issue when it comes to our police administration. And I have also witnessed this in my district also, sir. But, sir, I have also witnessed a solution to this. In my district, sir, there is a police station named Bhattu Kalan, and that has been regarded as the third most efficient police station in all over India. So what they have devised it that they include community in their investigation purposes. They have formed WhatsApp groups to make them realize that police are there for the every emergency, and people also understand it, and they used to solve the issues at their own rather than coming to the police. They try to have mediation within their community groups, and that has reduced some of the litigation matters. And sir, in that way, burdening of the policing has reduced it to a certain extent. Apart from that, sir, I believe there should be a better infrastructure which should be given, and technology should be used to such extent by increasing our intelligence capabilities, to increasing our
Any specific suggestion regarding technology?
yes, sir. Sir, like in many police stations, there is a practice of using paperwork rather than using computers and for registering FIRs and all those things. So we can transition to digital mediums and train the police in that kind of infrastructure. That will definitely improve their confidence also. And human resource is also an issue, sir. We need to fill up the vacancies that are lying.
You know the full form of CCTNS?
It's sir, I can guess right now, sir.
No,
If you
okay,
allow.
don't guess it. If you don't, it's
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Keshav,
Yes, sir.
the Ukraine war has once again, impacted India's economy.
Yes, sir.
Can you mention the downslide, in terms of some macroeconomic factors?
Yes, sir. Sir, there are multiple downsides that we have witnessed and we may witness in the future. So the first is the disruptions in global supply chains. Many commodities like sunflower oil and critical metals like palladium, etc., which are used in our domestic manufacturing, has been disrupted due to the war, and that has increased the cost of our industries and affected their export competitiveness. In that way, our exports are affected due to the war. Sir, the second factor is about the domestic inflation, which has increased, which has become more broad based now across commodities, not only to wholesale commodities and also other to consumer commodities, and that has also impact on consumers. It's like inflation tax on the consumers. So that is also second factor how we are witnessing issue from the Ukraine war. And sir, third is about many central banks are increasing their interest rates right now due to the war situation also, and that has impacted our foreign portfolios outside the country and has weakening our rupee, and which is increasing our trade deficit right now, sir.
So you did not mention about the economic growth in GDP, but tell me, my question is, tell me briefly, had you been the RBI governor,
Okay, sir.
in your next monetary policy, what would you have preferred more? A push to the economic growth or bringing down the inflation?
Sir, bringing down the inflation, sir. At the same time, sir, growth should also be a factor, but not that important to the inflation, sir, right now.
India and Germany, yesterday the Prime Minister of India was there.
Yes, sir.
So some major breakthrough has happened. Some agreements have been signed. Can you recall the two agreements?
Sir, I have not
You have
read
not
about
read
it, sir.
anything. Okay.
Yes, sir.
My next question is, you heard about LIC IPO?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there are some economists and people who say that what was the sense in bringing an LIC IPO in such a volatile market?
Okay.
It may not be in the interest of the country or the LIC. What are your views?
Sir, definitely there is the issue of volatile market right now, but government has considered other factors for coming to IPO right now, and that one of the factor is that since there has not been a major IPO in the recent period, investors are very much keen to purchase the shares and come to the primary market. So secondly, the future uncertainties are quite high, so it is better to have a base point, and that is favorable right now, that we can go for the IPO right now. And considering the uncertainties also, we have diluted to a very small extent rather than going for 5% or 6%, and it is going to be a reality check for the government whether it is proving success or not. So multiple factors are there due to which this concern is not that much significant, sir.
Punjab and Haryana are at loggerheads once again for Chandigarh.
Yes, sir.
So what should be done at this point in time? What are your views?
Sir, definitely Chandigarh, being a sole capital, has its own limitations. But my view is that, sir, Chandigarh may remain a common capital for some time. For that, we need to first consider the feasibility of alternative capital for Haryana or Punjab, for say. But many experts are also suggesting that Haryana may get a better deal if it shifts its capital from Chandigarh, and that is beneficial for it in the long run also. So that too depends upon the objective with which new capital is to be maintained, whether it is for the accessibility purpose or it is for the reducing the financial cost. But from my point of view, sir, Chandigarh may continue to be a common capital for some time, sir.
Thank you. I
Thank you,
pass
sir.
on to Mr. Khanna.
Thank you, sir.
Keshav.
Yes, sir.
Keshav, you are from Haryana, and after 2019, what have you been doing?
Sir, I started preparing for civil services exam, and in 2020 I gave my first attempt for civil services, and in 2020 itself I enrolled for MA Economics in Punjab University, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. I am preparing, and
So you have
yes, sir.
no experience, no work experience.
No, sir. As far as right now, sir.
Please tell us, why should you be selected if you have no work experience? What will you bring to civil service?
Yes, sir. Sir, that is true that do not have work experience. It is because of my conscious choice to start early in preparing for civil services. Secondly, sir, what I will bring to the administration, sir, it is efficiency, it is openness, and it is transparency at the level I will be posted. I will ensure that process reforms are there and the intention with which the policies are framed are implemented at the ground level. So that would be the most important priority of me if I come to the administration, sir.
Leadership is not one of the qualities.
Yes,
you
sir,
think
it
you will
is,
bring?
sir. Yes, sir, leadership is also very important, and I have experienced some leadership skills when I was part of a deep departmental representative during my college days, and I could understand the importance of teamwork and how a proper communication is very important when it comes to the delivery of the work. So that skill, sir, I think I will be able to utilize when I come to administration.
Okay. You have been associated with, besides NSS and teaching,
Yes, sir.
with ACER.
Yes, sir.
And ACER came out with the report on gap in learning.
Yes, sir.
Similar report was brought out by UNICEF also. So tell me, what would you do if you are posted in a district to bridge the gap in learnings by the rural and urban, and even by the teachers, because it brought out both.
Yes, sir.
So what will you do to improve and bridge the gap?
Sir, my first action would be to improve the school infrastructure in the rural areas. If we compare the urban schools and rural schools, there are stark differences when it comes to school infrastructure. So my first effort would be to give an holistic school environment to both students as well as teachers. And my second priority would be to go for teacher training modules by involving civil society and many NGOs who are working by providing workshops. Like ACER is also providing workshops to the teachers in order to make them understand the actual need of the teaching in preschool and primary school, how to make it experiential for the students. And sir, for as far as learning outcomes are concerned, sir, what I have experienced is that it is not what they are studying, but how they are being taught. The students, how they are taught is very important. And for that, sir, the use of technology, virtual reality and technology, those things can be integrated into the pedagogy of the students to increase their learning skills and learning levels. So these would be my priorities, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have heard of Amrit Kal.
Yes, sir.
So what are the targets set for Amrit Kal?
Sir, Amrit Kal is a period that we are associating with the transition from 75 years to 100 years of our independence, and there are many targets that government have set up.
Say that again. 75 years. So Amrit Kal
200 years, sir.
is over.
Sir, what I have read, sir, it is a period from 75 years to 100 years of our independence.
100.
Yes. Sir, there are targets like export target is there. We have targeted that $1 trillion of export target has to be achieved within next 3 to 4 years, and there are short term targets as well as long term targets during this period. Uh, our main target is that we reach the third largest economy by reaching 100 years of independence in terms of GDP, and uh, reach the sustainable development goals also, sir. Various sustainable development goals. Yes, sir.
All right. And during these 75 years that we have covered,
Yes, sir.
which 5 biggest achievements you are proud of?
Sir, the first is our economic growth that we have witnessed post 2000. That is very important when it comes to poverty reduction. We have eradicated 160 million of people out of extreme poverty during this period of high growth. Sir, second is our the strength of our democracy, sir. It has faced many challenges, but it has remained intact and has been made more strengthened over a period of time. So third is our technological capabilities have also increased over the period, that whether it comes to energy sector, whether it is our computers and IT, and all those things have improved over the last few years. Sir, the fourth is about our military capabilities and the defense power that we have emerged in the South Asia as well as in Asia particularly. And so fifth is about the stand that we have created in the global world, that India is going to be a major superpower in the coming years. That has also been one of the asset that we have generated over
So in your
75
reply,
years.
I didn't find anywhere the strengthening of democracy through constitution.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir. It is very important, sir.
All right. And 2 quick questions. Ruble trade with Russia.
Yes, sir.
Give me advantages and disadvantages of ruble trade with Russia in oil.
Sir, advantage is that it will definitely help in our securing our energy security for in short term, because they are giving us discounted oil for fulfilling our needs in short term. Second is, sir, it will help in getting back the export receipts which our own manufacturers have faced issue, that they can also uh, uh, reduce the sir, it will definitely help the manufacturers domestically which have exported their goods to the Russia, and the payments are stuck there. So it will help in realizing those payments back to India. As far as disadvantages are concerned, it may increase the issue of the Western pressure on India in terms of sanctions. It may increase pressure on that side. Secondly, sir, various dealings that we are doing with Russia, like BrahMos missile and all those things in defense sector, we could face issue on those through CAATSA sanctions also.
All right. Last question is your views on Supreme Court's comment that UAPA is being misused. What you have to say about it?
Sir, I am not sure in what context the Honorable Supreme Court has said this, but I think UAPA is needed as far as our current situation is concerned, given India is is facing the issues of Naxalism and insurgency. To some extent, it has been solved, but there are issues right now. But the safeguards have to be there in the act also, so that misuse does not happen. The training should be given to the law enforcement agencies how to utilize that act and how to implement it. So, sir, but I have read more about it, sir. Thank you, sir.